Hey guys, my name's Whitney and you're watching Needles Embroidery. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. Today is all about what you're going to need to pack to prepare for an embroidery event. So my team and I have been to 3 events in the last month. Wore me out, but it was all worth it. And we got pretty good at packing, and I'm going to share with you what I took out with me, okay? So right up front, the first thing is going to be a computer. You're going to need this to run your software program. I am using the Dell. This is, I don't even know how big it is. I knew that I wanted a flat screen, so I have a flat screen, touch screen, desktop with a wireless mouse and keyboard. So that was a great deal, and they're probably going to be continuing at Best Buy the deals that they have on this because it's around Christmas time. So, okay, in my box, I wanted to share with you what I have inside here. So we have actually become pretty good at packing because this will be my 3rd event with Dillard's and like 3rd year at Dillard's. And the first year, I brought everything. I wasn't sure what I needed to bring, so I just brought it all. The 2nd year, I got down into this box. This was purchased at Walmart. It was like $7. The lid snaps closed. It's easy to pack, and it's condensed. This made an awesome carrying tool for me and packing tool because it was so small, and the fact that it's flattened out, I can actually pack a lot more longer things than if it were more of a box shape. So let's jump right in and show you what I have in here. Okay. Now this box has not been unpacked since I came back from my Dillard's event yesterday, so we're gonna find it's pretty cluttered because when I pack up, I just throw stuff in the box. I don't even try to sort things out. But for the computer, you're going to need your power cord. Obvious reasons. If you are using an embroidery program, I use PE Design Next. You're going to need the box that goes with it. You're going to need the USB that will take everything from your computer to your embroidery machine or flash drives, and those are in here too. And some of you might not think about a phone charger, but that is key because as we finish up an order, we make the personal calls to the customers telling them that their order is ready to go. So we have to make those calls, and I use a lot of battery. I burn a lot of battery that way. Okay, so some of you might have seen my video on my Logitech ball track mouse, and this is my favorite digitizing mouse of all. It has the buttons on the sides, right and left, and then of course the trackball right in the center. This mouse itself does not move around, so you move everything with your fingers, and it is such a great tool, especially for people who are digitizing or starting out in digitizing. Go ahead and train yourself to this mouse because it will make a world of difference. Alright, I also have, but you might not need this, but the external hard drive. I don't like saving things to my computer. I find that it makes them run really slow. So I use an external hard drive. Okay. pretty much all that I have. No. My cord to my embroidery machine. That's important. We need that. Okay, and this little gadget right here is so cool. I'm going to show this to you. Let's see if I can get really close. Okay, this is an octopus, or what I call an octopus. This one is rocket fish. And basically it is a USB port, but it has all these little ports on the side. And so I can hook up, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 extra items through the USB onto my computer, and I don't have to plug into the back, and I just get to plug one into the side. So that's pretty cool. Okay, you are going to need a way of logging the names and numbers and the item being embroidered. So you're going to want a clipboard. You're going to want to go ahead and pre-print, like pre-make and print a bunch of order forms or a list of and you're going to want to make a list for your orders, okay? And so as you get them, you're going to write their name, their number down, the color of the item, or whatever item it is, the signature of the customers picking up. So they look at it, make sure that the monogram is right, they have to sign it out, and then if you are working with others, and because I am a boss, I have to hire my girls out, and so however, I can't keep track of how many orders they do, but they do it themselves. So they put, like, they write their signature or their initials by that person that they finished. So that's a really good way of keeping track of who has done what. On my embroidery machine, I use fast frames, so I have packed all my fast frames in the box. And that way I can use them over and over and over again, and as I go through them, I just prepare the next one and get it ready. So I'm constantly, going back and forth between the fast frames, and it helps. If you don't use fast frames but you use hoops, buy an extra hoop or two. It will change the way that you work because you're not waiting 10, 15 minutes for the item to come off the embroidery machine. You can be preparing the next one right then. I think a 5x7 is a perfect size because it can fit the small monograms in there, about 4x4, and that way you don't have to get it perfectly centered up in that hoop. 5x7, you just snap it in and put it in your machine. I use these guys right here. These are the Snowmen position finders. Amazing tool. Okay, and lots of stabilizer. I have stabilizer on a roll. This is 25 yard stabilizer. It is 10 inches. I got this one because they were out of the 8.5. But the 8.5 is the perfect size for my fast frames, but that's all right. So for my large fast frames, I use the 8.5 by 8.5 pre-cut stabilizer. This is also sticky back, and all of this is from MJ Sewing Supplies. Now my shipment was late. I wasn't very happy with the shipping process this time. I ordered weeks before my embroidery events, and they just got here this week, so I was not happy, but their product is still the best, so I still support them, and I think you should check them out if you haven't already. So here are more of the, do you want to see what the packaging looks like for the Snowman? Okay, bobbins. I bring a bunch of bobbins with me. I bring several bobbins in a plastic casing, which I think that they work, in my opinion, they work so much better than the ones that are in the paper backing, which I did bring some of those with me, but I think that the back of it looks so much neater. And then I also bring black bobbins, because if you were working on something really dark, you're going to want a dark thread to go on the back. So a black bobbin is going to be key. More stabilizer. These were for like really fluffy Columbia jackets, or the fuzzy ones, or the true grit type embroidery Columbia jackets. So this is water soluble stabilizer, still in the packaging. I just keep it in there to keep it from drying out. No one wants that. Extra thread. Okay, so this year on my to-do list, my buy list, is going to be a spool thread carrier. I'm actually really excited about it because obviously I have a lot of thread and I can't bring it all with me, but this is not the best way. Like yesterday, a lady was like, well, do you have a purple color to go on here? I was like, oh yeah. So I pulled this out, and then I like pulled this wad of thread. I was like, oh, so embarrassing. So this is not the best method. If you have or have an opportunity to get your hands on a carrying case, I advise a carrying case. Straight pins in a pin cushion. Since I float everything, sometimes the size may be really heavy or it may try to peel up, so I just stick a pin in it. Okay, Post-it notes. Sometimes you have to make notes of what the customer wants, and it may not be on the order form, and you don't want to write directly on the order form. It may just be for you, or one of your girls is working on an order. Write it on a Post-it note and stick it to the order form, or hand it to your employee. That will help you guys keep on track. Scissors. I have about 4 pair of scissors in this box. I'm not going to dig them all out, but they all have different functions. Well, some of them do. I think 2 of them have a different function. This is only for stabilizer or only for thread. I have some that's only for cutaway stabilizer. Some's only for paper. Be very specific, and if you have girls that are using your supplies too, like your employees, write down what it on here. You can even put it on the blade itself with a little strip of what's a little hand dial thing, and you push in the buttons and it kind of like tapes it, like prints on that little tape. That thing would be cool. I need one of those. Anyway, that would actually be really nice. Okay, color chart selections. This is important. I am going to zoom in. Okay, look at that. You have your color selection already embroidered out, and then you have the name or the color listed on top of it. Now, this was just thrown together pretty quick because Dillard's needed a way of showing people what I had. Obviously, I have more than that. I always bring more with me than what I show here, but this gives your customers a very clear picture of what colors you have. Okay, it's not printed out because when you print stuff, it's not always true to color. So being able to embroider it out and get it ready, this is just on a 5x7 picture frame stand, and I've turned it into a display. So get one of these. It takes 30 minutes or more, depending on how fast your embroidery machine goes, but it doesn't take long at all to get a visual prepared. Okay, so I have more stabilizer from MJ's Sewing Supplies. These are the pre-cuts 6x6. I'm going to try them out this time to see how I liked this opposed to the one that's right on the roll. So it's basically the same thing. They're just cut and they're so thick. Oh my goodness, that is going to be great. This is like a medium weight. That's going to be really nice to use. So medium weight. I have highlighters here. So as our customers come by and pick up their orders from the event, we cross their name off, and instead of having to mark all the way through it, we highlight it. And then inside here are flash drives. If you are using a PE770 or anything like that, you can't use a USB cable. You have to use a flash drive to go back and forth. And so in here are flash drives. We bring about 4 or 5 flash drives with us because we go off of one monitor and make all the designs on here and then transfer them to the right embroidery machine. So this year we went with 3 embroidery machines, and we were able to quickly use the USBs and install the design. So if you are a full-fledged business and you are at these events, chances are that's true, you're going to want your business card because people aren't necessarily wanting to buy or make a purchase that day, but they want to save you for later, or maybe they want to share you with friends. So you're going to want your business cards and then a business card carrier. You don't want to be one of those cheap people that, like, this was $2.50, buy one. You don't want to be one of those cheap person vendors or whatnot laying your cards all over the tables. That doesn't look professional. So get one of these card holders, get your business cards out, make them look really nice, okay? So that doesn't cost very much money. I do bring my embroidery hoop placement guides. This just gives me, helps me eyeball where I'm going to be placing my snowman sticker. I use this instead of rulers now because it has the guide of where the 4x4 is, like the size for the 4x4, and that's what I really like to use now instead of a ruler. Staplers, sometimes order forms come off of the packaging, so staple it on there again. Okay, a tape measure. This is always nice to have. So my software on my computer uses millimeters, but I don't think in millimeters all the time, so it's really hard, and my customers don't think in millimeters. So when I give them, well, it's going to be 80 millimeters, like 80 millimeters, what is that? It's like, well, that's almost 3 inches. Like that's 3 inches and a little hair, or almost a quarter. Well, for them, it doesn't help. So you're like, okay, 120 millimeters, or 120. Well, that's 4.5. So this kind of is nice to have. I've thought about cutting it and putting it on my computer here or down below so I can keep track. It's nice to have something that will help you convert measurements. All right, let's continue. What else do I have in here? Extension cords. I have an extension cord, and I also have my power strip. It's already plugged in, so I can run my video camera and my Mac computer to record this. So you're going to want a power strip that has surge protection because you're going to be putting in, chances are, quite a few embroidery machines. You're going to be putting in your computer, plugging in different things to make your business go. If you're bringing lamps, I brought lamps to a couple of the events just because if you have to pick out stitches, you're not going to want to depend on their weak lighting in their store. So lamps are always nice, and it kind of gives your setup a more homey feel. What else do I have? Tools. Tools of the trade and my toolbox. I have needles in here. I have the rethreader. I have all the tools that I need in this little box. So the girls that work with me, if they need an extra needle for their machines, they know exactly where to go, and they take care of it. So I don't have to always dig in there and find it. Or even if they have their own stuff, which one of mine, Regina, she brings her own stuff, and so I don't have to supply her with anything. But my other friend who helps me, she helps me with my machine, so she needs to know where everything is. Okay. and I said, oops, I brought my PE 770, and so I have extra hoops. Here are 2 5x7s. Guys, having extra hoops can mean an extra 5 minutes faster getting onto the machine because this one's already prepared. The other one's already prepared. More scissors. Alright. Placement. Let's see. Okay, mints. I have mints in here. So for the table, we actually set up 3 tables. And we have 2 tables in the back where Regina and I work. And then I have 1 table in the front where Becky works. And Becky deals with all the customers, and then she also runs my large machine sometimes. So on the table, on the front table, we have a nice little tablecloth that goes over it. That did not fit in this box. So we have a nice little tablecloth that goes over it. We have poinsettias. At one time, I had 2 poinsettias going. You can even get 3 and put 1 on the floor if you want. But I had 1 kind of in the corner, and then I had my business card set up next to it, and then I had another one in the other corner with my placement guide and maybe a copy of, or the sample of my order form and stuff like that. And then I had mints. These are the soft chew mints. You can get 150 from Walmart in a big tub. That's what this is. And then you're going to want something to put it in, okay? And again, this is from Walmart. Really simple to get your hands on, but I like the lids that close completely, and if you do end up putting this inside your tub, it's not all going to spill out. You don't want that. So some of these are from the year before last. They last. They will last you. So don't throw anything away if you think you can use it for the next year. So this will go in storage until I need it again for next year. Alright, let's see what else I have in here. I have a magnet box, and I've been trying this out. This is a reused spice container that had a magnet on the back, and I use it for my pins, my straight pins. I like it because it helped me grab my pins quickly. Alright, more stabilizer, hold the pots. Okay, pins. Bring a lot of pins with you, because as your girls are working on this, on your order form or tracking list, you're going to have people picking up pins and filling out their order forms, and sometimes these go fast. So get cheap ones, get a bunch, put them in your box. And then don't put them all out, put 2 out, and as you see that one has disappeared, put another one out. Okay, your water erasable marker. This one is in the color blue. If I'm working on something that absolutely has to be straight up and down, it takes up my whole fast frame, I will line it up perfectly with my water soluble marker. So it actually goes on, excuse me, the stabilizer, and that way I mark it off, put the item on there perfectly, no problem. White out, this goes with your tracking list. That way, if you accidentally have duplicates or multiples of something that doesn't belong, take it off, cross it off. Ziploc bags, no telling what was in this bag, but when you need it, you know, it's nice to have. Roll that over there. Tylenol, this one's Equate. Oh my goodness. So many times I don't get enough sleep the night before because I am preparing something, or I have orders that have to go out the same day, so I don't sleep at all. So I always end up having headache or backache because when I do go to sleep, I sleep extra hard. You're going to want this. Your back's going to hurt during the event, or maybe your head's going to start pounding during the event. Having this in your box can save a life, okay? Seam rippers, I have 2, okay? This one right here, it's missing a lid, but this one came from, it's like a 5-inch. Let me look. It's pretty long. Yeah, 5 inches. This one came from my favorite Fabric Cobbler on Facebook. So check her out, the Fabric Cobbler. Little seam ripper. Hand lotion. And this also comes from the Fabric Cobbler. This is really cool. This is a Tula, and this is a really, let me see if I can zoom in here. It's a really sharp razor blade. Can you see that? It's a really sharp razor blade, and it allows me to get into it, the small, detailed works, and I can use this sharp edge right here to pick out the knots, or maybe pick out the back of the design. You know, man, it slips right in and just cuts like butter. Oh, this is good stuff to have. All right. Apparently I needed 2 lotions, so I have 2 of those in there. Okay, so I do have a ruler in here. I see lots of just miscellaneous stuff now that's not really important. The power charger to my phone, just in case I need that port that I have my phone hooked up in on my Octopus, is being used. Sewer's Aid. I love this stuff for my needles. If you don't want to change your needles out ever so often during your event, use Sewer's Aid, especially for the really thick material. And stockings, this is perfect for those. Kind of get your needles some silicone lubricant, so it actually makes the stitches look really nice too. All right, another bag, just extra staples. That's pretty much all that I have in my box. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If there is something that I have missed, oh yeah, your embroidery machine. You're going to need several of those. So I have my Entrepreneur Pro PR1000E that I use. It's 10 needle home embroidery machine. And then I also have my 1 needle PE770 that I take with me, as well as my my coworkers, my employees, their embroidery machines. So prepare everything. Make sure that everything has been serviced before you start your events. You do not want to get to your event and then something malfunctions because it hasn't been properly cleaned. So take care of your machines. They're so precious. I love my embroidery machine. So take care of them. Actually, my PE770 usually sits right here. It is being serviced. I think I get to pick her up tomorrow. So, anyway, well, thank you so much for watching today's episode. If I missed anything, leave them in the comment section below. If you like videos like this, give me a thumbs up, share across the multimedia sites, and I will catch you guys again soon, possibly after the new year. Have a great day, and I'll catch you later. Bye!